How's everyone doing out there? So, I am Michael Prince. Y'all are getting a very unique experience today. I usually don't play alone. I'm usually in an ensemble, either the Yee section. Y'all might have heard of Hood Orchestra. Y'all might have heard of Renaissance Orchestra. I've, played in ensembles, but I also create original music. And today, I'm just going to take y'all on a journey just like through my discography. I'm gonna open it up to questions. I really like Eddie's Attic because it's a very like intimate like listening experience. Today we're gonna be heavy on like the listening, heavy on the questions about just the journey, the creation. So if you have any questions throughout this process, just throw up a hand and I'll call it out. Yes, that is on my album, The Great Migration. It released December. It was about my migration from Vallejo, California, back to Houston. Are you from Vallejo? Oh wow, that's crazy. Small world. Yeah. Well, I migrated by way of car from Vallejo to Houston, and I curated an album about like the whole migration process, and that was called Brick by Brick, and it was basically inspired about like just stacking, bricks, and how it isn't just like a quick process, but slowly building up. Yep. Yes. Why not Atlanta? Well, I grew up in Houston. Um, my whole life, I'm from Third Ward, so it's like I literally moved back to the street that I grew up on. My parents are like 10 houses down. My cousins are a couple homes down, and it's like I really realized that in order to build my community, I could only do it from within. So it's like I moved back to kind of build, so I could just more so travel to the places that I needed to go. Yates High School. I didn't go to Yates. I went to HSPVA. Yes, sir. How many years in the business? Shoot, this is fresh. This is new. This is like me trying to do stuff, figuring out like how to make stuff work. I graduated in 2023 with a music degree from University of Oklahoma, and yeah, appreciate it. And like after that, I was like, what's next? And so it's like I started posting myself, just praying, playing, practicing, mainly to like YouTube beats and stuff. And then I realized like, oh, I could actually like make music and release music and then monetize music and then tour. And then it's like I started learning about like putting on events and then like, yeah, I just started doing the thing. And the last 3 years, it's kind of just like taken off for me to be able to like bring people together in a room and have them show up. Yes. Hmm. Hey, hello. Hmm. Oh, from the Pergola Freestyle. That was like the. Yep. Appreciate it. Hmm. Before I go on to the next song, any more questions? I love the questions. I love getting to talk just as much as playing because it's like when I just play, a lot of people like don't necessarily get the full translation of what's actually coming out. All right, this next song is entitled Trappin' Violins. And back in Houston, we have trap music, much like Atlanta, but yeah, this was one of the first songs that I made that like I guess went a little bit viral when I performed it because people were like, "Whoa, it's a first they were like, it's a black guy playing the violin. And then they were like, he's not playing classical. And then they were like, whoa, this is kind of like lit. So, yeah. Yeah. So this is Trapping Violins. Trapping Violins. A little bit on the inspiration behind that. If you heard there's this old story in the Bible about how they marched around the walls of Jericho with the trumpet. That was like a little quote from that. Any other questions? Yes. Ooh. How do I do this? God does this. I just get up here. It's crazy. It's crazy. Backstage, a minute ago, I was like freaking out. I was like, and I told Gabrielle, I was like, I need a pace. And it's like I walked back and forth a couple times, and then I came up here, and now I'm playing. And now it's like, I'm fine. So that's how I know it's like, it's not anything that I can do, because it's like, I've been playing my violin my whole life, you know, doing the thing, and it's like I still get nervous, but it's like when I pray before I play, it's good. Yeah. But also a lot of practice, just playing every day. I really like live life through my music. Like all of this comes from somewhere. So it's not just like me just like making music, is me telling the story. So this next track is entitled The Canvas, and it's from one of my most recent albums entitled Praying for Peace. These last couple of months have been crazy. Like, we started the year like doing like Super Bowl, and then like hitting the road. We did a show in like Norman, Oklahoma, and it was like sold out. And I was like, that was a random place on the map, and that really told me like, okay, I need to keep going. So it's like just things along this journey that have just been insane, but also a little steady, unshaky at times. So this song, The Canvas, is the opening track from Praying for Peace. And it's really about just like finding calmness and stillness within the storms of life. Thank you. So that was the canvas. Any questions about that one? I love this type of concert. I've never like been able to just speak. We're usually just in the bag, you know? So, any questions on that one? That one is on Limitless. That was from 2024. Funny story about that. I was in what they would call a trap house, but not doing drugs, don't worry. Not doing and or selling drugs, but it's like for me, it's like I was in Vallejo, California. I had just moved to Vallejo. I had 2 suitcases, and I moved into an apartment that I thought was furnished across the country, and it wasn't furnished. So I had 2 suitcases, and I'm like, how am I gonna make it out? And it's like, I just started making a bunch of music. Like that, like 2 year period, it's like I was just dropping music every day, and it's like I feel like I'm like trapping, but with violins. So that's why I named it Trapping Violins. Mm-hmm. Yep. All right. This next track. Hmm. What what direction are y'all trying to go in? Oh, the follow through. Okay, okay. That's the most recent one. That was about a week old. Let, let's see what I got on that one. Hmm. So this track, Let It Shine. Another life thing that happened was my grandfather passed and my uncle passed within like the same like couple of weeks. So it's like that was big life moment. And one thing he asked me before, he passed, he was like, you should do a gospel song. And I was like, all of my songs are gospel. Like, there's no like script. That's why I said earlier, like, God is really like determining what I play and what I say. So it's like, I told him, like, all of my songs are gospel. However, I made a song that was entitled Let It Shine. And I felt like this is like what I have in my discography now that's like the closest, to the gospel boxer genre. But this one's Let It Shine. Can y'all clap with this one too? That one's Let It Shine. I like that. I like that. Great call, great call, great call. All right. Any other questions? Yes, sir. A lot of folks. I in 2024, one of the crazy things that happened in my life was doing a tour with T Pain and La Russell. And it's like that really showed me like, okay, you want to do this for a living, like this is what it looks like. Like sleeping on the tour bus, waking up in one city. It's like on tour we were opening, so it's like it would be like 8 hour day, 30 minutes to perform. So it's like those other 8 hours are just anticipation of, are we gonna perform, like all this stuff, just seeing all the logistics, seeing like the breakdown of like the revenue for the tours. So I think that was a moment that changed my life, going on tour with T-Pain. And T-Pain is independent, so it's like watching that and watching him being in the green room and being like, man, this is costing a lot of money. Like he's, a giant, but still like worrying about, the things that make everything move. So that also ASAP Rocky, he had called me in 2024. Another random thing, I got a direct message on Instagram. I was like, ASAP Rocky. And it's like, I DM'd him. I was like, is this for real? And he was like, yeah, I'm finishing up my album. It's like, come, to New York and put on some strings. And I was like, okay. And it's like, he had such a tight window too. He was about to go to do Father's Day. And it's like, I got into the studio and I turned the corner and it's like John Baptiste was there with a book, just reading a book. He was like, hello. And I was like freaking out at that point. And so it's like, I ended up being able to be in community with them, like casually, like they were like, John Baptiste was probably like my highest inspiration at that moment. And it's like, I met him and I realized how like tangible just like your dreams are. So it's like those moments just, I think they really changed my life. And then La Russell, it's like, he was the reason I moved out to the Bay Area. It's like, he was a mentor. I just watched him, build like a Disney World independently and just give all the game back. So yeah, definitely those folks. Let's see, I'm trying to see what I have on this laptop. Oh, he called Finette. Ooh, it's crazy. I was about to go to that. We're just in sync. All right, this song is entitled Finesse. Y'all may have heard it.
Hey, Will, what that is? Do you not get the concept?
Finesse. Backstory on that song. Who has heard that song before? Okay. Oh, wow. That's a vast majority. Okay, okay. That song was me and the homies in the studio for 5 minutes. Right. We just, right, one take. We just, right. It was, at that point, I didn't even know like what dropping music meant. Um, we got in the studio, we pressed record. They were cooking up some chords, literally chords, bass, and then the we put it together. I like performed it at a show, and people were like, "Hey, that's fire!" And then it's like I uploaded it to the streaming platforms, and about like 2 years later, like someone was like, "There's a TikTok dance," and I wasn't even on TikTok. I still am not on TikTok. So it's like that was a foreign concept to me that like, oh, people are dancing to it. And then it's like, I think one day I was fishing on a boat. And I opened my phone and I look at TikTok. And on the top 50 songs, Finesse was number 3 under Bruno Mars and Mariah Carey. And that was right around Christmas time. So it was like, that was her Christmas moment, each year. And I was like, whoa. And then it's like, it got real, real quick. And then I realized, oh, I need to just drop music all the time. So after that, I really just started going crazy, dropping music. I'm still figuring out, how you get paid from, like, the whole world, like, actually listening to your music. Because, like, with the music industry, a lot of stuff don't be that mad. Don't be adding up. But got a lawyer recently. Found some revelations. I actually have a song called Revelations. It was about that moment, the moment I realized, interesting. I'm going to find that real quick. It's also from Praying for Peace. I think I have the revelation that I don't have the song. So I'm going to go ahead and pivot to this song called The World Is Yours. Y'all have FIFA right here, right? Is it just booming the economy? It's growing? Yeah. How is Atlanta's FIFA? It's good? So we have FIFA in Houston, and it's like they like threw like 10,000 people down the street from me. Like I live in 3rd Ward, and it's like we've been getting like gentrified. They've been doing all the Airbnb investments and stuff. And so these last couple of weeks, like I've been performing at the Fan Festival in Houston, and it's just been interesting to see just all the people from all over the world, and like people from around the world, they like really appreciate and love music. So I had created this song back in December, The World Is Yours, for the follow-through, and I had no idea that we were going to end up, doing the World Cup. I knew it was coming to Houston. I didn't realize it was coming down the street in Houston, and I ended up making this song, and I ended up playing it out there, and it was pretty cool. But this song is called The World Is Yours.
Do you not get the concept?
Thank you, thank you. How does it sound out there? Nice. Shout out Michael. It's funny. His name is also Michael. That's how I instantly knew. When you walk in and he's like, oh, I'm Michael too. It's like, we locked in. How did y'all feel about that one? Any questions? Great. Thank you. Thank you. This next track is entitled Vibin'. I usually put this song on anytime, I want to be in a good vibe, good feelings. I fish a lot. Is anyone in here fisherman? Good, good. I love to fish. So this song I wrote back in while I was on tour with T-Pain, because one thing I realized was a hack. Like before we performed, I was like, I need to get outside and fish before every performance. So it's like we were in like Florida, we were like South Carolina, and I would always, it didn't matter if I had a fishing rod or not, even a line with a hook would suffice. But it's like I had to get outside. So that's a tip. Get outside and fish. But this song is called Vibin'. And feel free to, close your eyes and go to whatever your happy place is. That felt good. That felt great. All right. Any questions? I'm going to take a load off real quick. Yes. It varies from 5 minutes to 5 years. There's still some songs I haven't completed yet. It depends on like what moment I am in life. Like, believe it or not, I hardly get any time to record nowadays because like when tour comes, it's like that's performance mode. And then it's like the next couple of weeks I might have like record mode where it's like I'm at home, fishing, relaxing. That's usually when I'm the most creative, when I have the most time. So I'd say like it varies. Some days I'll sit down and I'm like, okay, I'm aiming for a project. Other days it's just like I just want to drop something, just make something. I feel like back in 2024, 2023, I was really like I was disconnected from like the whole process of like releasing your music. So I was just recording music. So I was just, every day recording something. But now it's like I record with more intention. It's like a lot of these songs, I make it in order that I may perform it. Cause like there's a lot of songs I have where it's like I can't perform that, if it's just me like playing a bunch of notes and it really wouldn't make sense to like talk about it. But yeah, it varies. Any violinist, really any violinist. That you said it. Any violinist I would like to collab with is literally it doesn't matter. I like being in community with other string players that are willing to like take risks and like not play with sheet music. A lot of times it's like, man, classical musicians can be so talented, but then it's like you tell them to play something that they feel, and then they're like, "What do you mean? Like play? I can't play what's on the page." And so it's like me just like trying to like find the people that are like Atlanta has a lot of good string musicians that are like you have to have like the soul, like the southern, mm, yeah, yeah. But are there any violinists out here? Will you play the violin? Oh no, a question? Oh, okay, yeah, yes. I'd say right now, right now I don't listen to music because it's rough out there for like finding good music. But I grew up like listening to Prince, Michael Jackson, Quincy Jones. Like I would listen to music for like you said, the upbeat rhythm, the beats. So it's like I was listening to a lot of like Atlanta rappers and Houston rappers having no idea what they were actually saying when they were rapping. So it's like I would just be turning up, listening to anything that, I could turn up to. But now I've gotten to the point where it's like it's harder to get past my like filter and I can't really like tune out music that doesn't necessarily have a good message. So it's like nowadays like I'll be driving just listening to beats from producers so that I can, you know, create music. Jazz artists collaborations. I feel like everybody in Houston is a jazz artist. My cousin Jeremiah Price, he plays the guitar. He's a pretty big jazz artist right now. He just won like Young Arts Miami. That's kind of like a really prestigious jazz award. Yeah. Robert Glasper actually went to my high school, HSPVA in Houston. Beyonce also went to HSPVA. So like just in Houston alone, there's like so many like alumni from my school, and we do a lot of like alumni jam sessions. The HSPVA Black Alumni Network is really strong, so it's like you'll go to a jam session and see Robert Glasper, Brian Michael Cox, like some legends. Can I play any Prince songs? She said copyright. It's funny. It's funny because like right, I wouldn't. It's funny. I I look at Michael Jackson and Prince, and it's like I like adore their music and look at it, but it's like I also don't really like how like the industry has treated them. Like years later, like Michael Jackson's movie on the box office, like it making $1 billion is great, but it's like the percentage of that goes to somebody that had nothing to do with the creation of music is kind of like, hmm. So it's like that's kind of why I've been so like heavy on like performing my own music, knowing like how to even license it. Like when I do performances in like different venues, it's like I go back and write the songs that I performed in the venues so that the American Society of Composers can come out and be like, okay, you performed this here. Here's like a couple cent or something. And it like, yeah, it's just the music business. But unfortunately, I can do it acoustic though. If y'all don't tell anybody, what's that song? How does that go? Um, yeah, just a little bit. You can't tell them. Like it's funny. So Summer Walker, y'all know Summer Walker, right? Y'all know Heart of a Woman. So I posted and released a song using that beat, because fun fact, that beat was a YouTube beat, right? And I posted a song a long time ago to that, and like nothing happened. And I saw that she dropped a song with it, and I was like, dang, she used the same beat. And I was like, oh well. And I didn't really like do anything, but it's like a couple months ago, Universal Music Group was like, hey, that's our copyright. And I was like, whoa, y'all like totally, they like basically like claimed everything from that track. And yeah. It wasn't that bad though. It's like, yeah, basically they just thought that I had sampled her in making my song. And I'm like, no, I'm literally just playing the violin. Like, I didn't help write that song and she didn't write my song. So yeah, it's good now. The Lawyer. You feel me? Backseat. Backseat. I might be disconnected from that one. What does it go like? Perfect. Backseat freestyle. Any other questions? I'm having a great time. Are y'all having a great time? Good. This is like soul cleansing. This is like the end of what has been a crazy month, Black Music Month. They start calling. They see me. They like, come play some music, my boy. And I've been like, yeah, I started out playing FIFA one time and they had me in the inside, like small stage. And it's like, since then, they've called me like 3 times for the big stage. So it's like, it's been a blessing, but it's like the heat, all that running back. We're driving after this back to Houston, on the road. Driving back. Yeah, flying these days, ooh, too much. Because I like to bring my fishing rods. And last time TSA broke the tips of my fishing rods and I couldn't use them, so I was like, gotta drive now, everywhere. Mm-hmm. Any one song that has turned out better than I've expected. Ha! This song called "The Crash Out." It's funny. It's the songs that you make as a joke that usually go crazy. Anytime I go into like a school to perform, the youth are like, "Can you do this song?" Because it's like I made a song that was like embodying people crashing out, but just putting it in a musical sense and letting people to get that energy in that song. There are also some vocals. I don't know how, comfortable y'all are with singing, but feel free to join me. This is for like when you're in traffic. Y'all have have worse traffic than Houston, by the way. All right, the vocals are coming back. Y'all can join in. This is for the lower. Hey, hey, hey. Thank you. Y'all like that? Ooh, good, good, good. Yeah. Right, right. Yep, yep. Good. Yep. And traffic turning up. Any other questions? Crash Out. It's on I Am Black. That's an album. You see the I Am Black. So I Am Black was, I think last year, Black History Month. I was like, I want to make a album that's me. And it's funny, since like middle school, I walked around and I was like, I am black. And I would say like no other like context or anything. It's like, it'd be a random situation. And I'd be like, I am black. And it's like, it was just kind of like my like who I am. And it's like, through that, it's like I started learning like more of like my heritage. And even coming from Third Ward, like I learned about all the, like we got a street called Emancipation Avenue. So it's like I started learning about my history more. And it's like nowadays I'm like, I put it on a t-shirt. Everyone wants the t-shirt. Put it on stickers. Everyone wants the stickers. And it's like, it's crazy how like what I thought was crazy back then, and people were kind of like, "Bro, what are you talking about?" It's like nowadays it's so like relevant, and that album was really me just like putting it in the music. It opens with a track called "Switching Lanes." That's about driving through traffic in Houston, getting in your right lane. You want you want to hear that one? Okay, okay. Yeah, the traffic theme. Ah, yes. This is a great track for. This is the opening track of I Am Black. And I think I wrote this song my first time getting back to Houston after like being on tour for a long time. So it's like I got back and it's like I hadn't I'm 24, so it's like I had only had like 1 year of driving, and I got back to Houston, got in that traffic, and I was like, "Whoa!" They were like, so I made this. I literally went to the studio, made this, and it's crazy nowadays. It helps me like regulate my brain through the traffic and just be like swerving, been in the corner. It was running a go again. Thank you. That was switching lanes. Also, fun fact. I don't know if y'all see my roots, but I've been growing my hair out. I told myself all Black Music Month, no haircuts. So curls. You feel me? That was a good one. I like the direction that headed in. Oh, question, yeah. Oh, she. The copyright. Donna Summers. That's who it's by. They're gonna send me a something in the mail. I'm gonna be like, yeah, cease and desist. Yeah. Yes. Mhm. Mm, mhm. Right. Hmm. So I think the first time I played mic'd up was jazz improv. I finessed my way into jazz improv class as a violinist, and it's like HSPVA. That's where Robert Glasper came from. So that's the level of jazz department it was, and it's like I finessed my way into beginning jazz improv, and it's like when I was there, I would play and I would try to solo, but it's like there'd be a drums, everyone. So it's like I knew I had to get something, and I got a pickup, and this is an acoustic instrument, but it's simply an attachment that I just attach. This is a kind of fancy system. I've like over the years had to save up, just slightly increase like the ability of me to move, because like one thing I ran into was just being corded. Like it's not fun just having chords and only being restricted to like. So I knew I had to get a system. This system down here, it it allows me to probably go like shoot in the parking lot, and y'all could probably hear me. But I started out with these little things. I'm gonna show you. This is a little dongle. It probably costs like 1 or 200, but it's like it allows you to just hook it in, and then there's another piece that might go into like an input somewhere. But yeah, the transition of playing with it varies by venue. This is shout out Michael, because I'm telling you, it don't normally sound like this. It doesn't. It's funny. It's like everyone has different systems, so it's like when I get into a building, it's like I gotta adjust. Like sometimes I might like I used to have a pickup that didn't have a volume button on it. Like I have a little volume, so it's like I might go out there in a stadium, and it's like the second they hook in my sound, it's like it's on, and it's like any little movement I make, like people can hear it. But it's like now I've transitioned to where I have like volume. I can mute in my pocket if I needed to unmute. Yeah, because it just gets a lot of chaos sometimes. But no, because I like I stand by playing my acoustic instrument. Like this is the instrument. This is Tigress. If you can see it, if you've seen Kung Fu Panda, Tigress. She's like fierce but beautiful. That's my instrument. So Tigress is acoustic. This was like an old German instrument. When they found it, it was like messed up, and the violin shop in Houston put it back together and gave it to me at a discounted rate. So it's like my dad for probably like 10 years of my life paid like insurance and like a car note on my violin for me. So it's like I want him to be able to see this instrument like everywhere. Like Super Bowl, I was like, nah, I want to play my normal instrument. Like I, unless the companies are paying me, which they're not, to like pull up with a different violin. It's like, no, this is my instrument. I've had the same case. My case is probably gonna fall apart soon, but it's like I really stay like loyal to the sound. That was a good one. That got me yapping. Any other questions? The a great violin to start out learning with. I'd say you gotta find a violin shop. Um, they're called like luthiers, Luthier, or you could just type in violin shop. I'd go there because they usually have like a range. It's like they don't usually just have a bunch of expensive instruments because like if you get something online and aren't able to like test it, it's kind of like going in and testing the shoes or a bike or a car. Like I wouldn't just get one online. I go into violin shop. They'll fit you. They'll work with the budgets. They do payment plans. Like I literally didn't know that I would have a payment plan on a violin, but they allow it. And insurance. Like I've destroyed a couple violins, but my dad was like, "That's why you get insurance, son." So yeah. hmm Let's see. What I got on here? I just saw my homie Lawrence walk in. What's up? Can y'all say what's up, Lawrence? He plays the drums. He's another one of those people from Houston. Jazz. We went to HSPVA high school together. Like, you know. hmm Yo, he's busy. That's why he ain't playing. Cause man, it's a different animal nowadays. All right, this track is entitled Melrose. I'm gonna slow it down a little bit. This song I wrote it. This was actually a single. I wrote it while, on the road. This is part of the Great Migration because it's like that road trip from Vallejo to Houston was just like, it was cool, but there was no water. Like, so I usually just stop. Like, from the east to Houston, it's all ponds. I could stop anywhere and just cast a fish and boom, cast a line and then boom, fish. But like, that was just desert. And so this song was kind of like I'm traveling through the desert. I want to make something that, is like me traveling through the desert. So this is Melrose. And it also means honey of roses. So if you just think of like the warmth of a mother's embrace. Melrose. That was Melrose, and it's on The Great Migration. Yes, it was a single first, and then I added it to the album. hmm This feels great. This is a great experience. How much time do I have? I don't even know how it works here. I got 50. Ooh, I'm about to play this song called "Less Violence, More Dancing." I feel like a lot of people, when they see me playing, they expect to hear the trap and the hip hop music. But with this track, I want people to like listen to it or try to go to listen to it and be like, man, I want a hip hop, but I like this. So this is Less Violence, More Dancing. And feel free, the shouting, the jumping, the dancing, all of it is welcome. This is a safe space. There is no judgment here.